Hi, everybody, and welcome to Wild Wednesday Live and our happy birthday anniversary show. It's hard to believe we've been live now for a year, but we're sure been having a good time doing it. Just before we get started, just want to remind you, Wild Wednesday Live is sponsored by the Quilt, Craft, and Sew Mall, which is just one click is going to get you to some of your all-time favorite vendors, so you don't have to go searching for them. When you visit the mall, be sure you check out our weekly specials. Those change every week. And a lot of the vendors will put some really great deals on there. We've also want you to kind of keep an eye out. We have a new thing that's going to be up real soon called In the Spotlight, where every week we're going to spend a couple of minutes interviewing some of our vendors so that you get to know them just a little bit better. Let's see. We want to remind everybody that next week we will be live from Puyallup, Washington, and that is most of the vendors. That's our last show of the year. And as far as for those of you that can't get to the show, like we always do at the live shows, we will be live on Wednesday doing a behind the scenes of setup day, and then we'll be interviewing vendors on Thursday and Friday. Now, remember, when we're at a show, Wild Wednesday is going to be at 3 o'clock, whatever the local time is. So be sure that if you're not in the Pacific time zone, which is where kind of up and down the north and south above California, be sure that you Google what time is it in Puyallup, Washington, so that you can be sure that you tune in at the right time. But we hope to see a whole bunch of you guys show up there in person. I'm excited that Beth and I will both be back together at this particular show. And remember, when you come to our booth, be sure you say, I get wild with you on Wednesday, and you will get a special gift. Now, today's show is going to be a little bit different, but I do want to start with our favorite part. We'd like to do our roll call. So if you have yet to do that, just type in the comments where you're watching from. It's always a really fun thing for Beth and I to see where y'all are coming from. And it's usually all over the United States. So, eventually we hope we get to see everybody in person, but some of you guys are kind of out there from where we are on the West Side. So I also want to remind you that coming up the following week after Puyallup, which is November the 24th, we will not have a show. That being the day before Thanksgiving, we know so many people have so much going on. We have a lot going on. So just like we did last year, we're not going to have a show that particular day. And be sure and tune in for our shows in December, where we are going to be focusing on ready-made gifts for all those last-minute gifts that you just need to, if you've realized that you're out of time and you're not going to have time to make 10 more quilts for gifts before Christmas, you're going to want to tune in December when we give you all these great ideas for last-minute gifts. The vendors who participate they'll realize that they need to ship to you as fast as they can so that you get all those things. So that's going to be in December, and we'll tell you more about that later on. So today we're going to start today a little bit different as well. As you guys all know, our dear friend and our fill-in co-host, Adele from Couture, had a pretty bad respiratory infection that landed her in the hospital, and she missed a couple of shows. She's been out of commission, but she's starting to join us back again. She was with us at Tucson, although she wasn't there every day because she needed to rest up, but she's going to start the show off with us today because she's got some really terrific specials. And with that said, I just want to mention to you guys, if you are loving Couture, or if you're needing more supplies, or if you've always wanted to get into it, I know Adele lost a lot of money. I'm saying this and I don't want to embarrass her, but any vendor that misses a show, it's devastating, and she missed more than one. So any support y'all can give her, I know she will appreciate it. So let's bring her in and tell her hello. So hey, Adele.
Hey everybody. Hey Raylene, how you doing?
We're doing great. Hey, listen, you've been telling me about all these great deals and all this stuff that's going on. And I know the people that some of our newer viewers aren't familiar with your club. So why don't you just tell them all about everything? I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay, I'm going to briefly just say what Couture is. So we use reusable silkscreen transfers, and we push paste or ink through that transfer. Here's an example of one. Everywhere you see the white, that's where the design stays. And we can use it on fabric or wood surfaces or solid surfaces. With our fabric, we use ink, and with our paste, we use that on hard surfaces like chalkboard and wood. Anyway, sorry, my brain's still not all the way with us, so I'll get through it. So the first thing I want to talk about is the chalk room. So the chalk room is our chalk couture place that's very similar to Pinterest, and it is located on Facebook. It's called The Chalk Room. If you want to search that and then just put in Adele or Wild Wednesdays, I'll get you approved. And on that Facebook group, you'll be able to see other designers from all over the country. You'll be able to see the creations they make. And then actually that website's wrong on the bottom. It's chalkcouture.com/chalk2crafts. But we'll fix that in a minute. Then next I want to talk about the club. So we have a club called Club Couture. I'm going to go ahead and send Ron this link just to fix that for him. I'm going to put it in the chat, Ron, real quick for you. There you go. I think that'll help. Okay, next we have Club Couture. Club Couture is $19.99 a month. It's sort of like a block of the month program. This is the design for this month. So if you are one of our club members or our club customers, you would get this and 3 different coordinated pastes in the mail every month. So it's like a block of the month. You can cancel anytime after the first 3 months. They also offer a lot of specials for our club members that are different than than a regular designer. We also have a designer kit that is $99. With that, you normally get $250 worth of product. But this month, they have thrown in a bonus kit. So this month, they are also adding this to the starter kit. And let me just kind of break that down. I'll show you a better picture of it. So for $99, you'd actually end up getting almost $300 worth of product. So you see right here, that little countdown to Christmas right there. It's got a wreath on it that you move. It's got a magnet behind it. And it comes with the 3 pastes you need. Sorry, I'm not doing it very well at this. 1, 2, you get 3 pastes, 3 different colors. You get the wreath that has the magnet attached on the back. You get a squeegee, and you get the transfer and the surface. So you also get detailed instructions, and if you have never done chalk couture, I can actually help you with that also. So that also comes in the kit. So that, like I said, that takes a $99 kit up to $290, maybe $300. And from that moment on, you would get everything at 40% off that you order through chalk couture. Excuse me, big yawn. The next thing I want to talk about is we are having sales all month long. Right now, we have our A size transfers on sale. If you go to my website, click on specials, you'll see that they are now 30% off those select transfers, which are also, some of them are retired right now. Some are retiring as soon as the sale is over. Every Monday, in November, they will put a different group of transfers on sale. So I forgot to tell you, this is also available by itself for $40 on my website. If you look under kits, you would see this there, and it's everything you need to get started and just get going. I believe they still have some Try Me kits there too. And just so you know, today on this our birthday celebration, we are actually going to be giving away one of these kits. So one of you lucky winners will get that kit sent to you. I will get it in the mail tomorrow or the next day. So let's go over it again. We've got the chalk room, and I can put links in the comments for anybody who is interested. We've got the chalk room, and I'll label them. Then we've got Club Couture, which those block of the month type transfers they're exclusive. They're only available to designers like myself and those in the Club Couture program. Next, we have the starter kit, which is $99. You get 250 plus worth of value. And the additional value is this kit is actually included now in that kit for the rest of November. Stumbling on my words. That's okay. And I think that's it. So I will put links in the comments, and I think Raylene's going to come on and ask me some questions. I'm a little nervous about that. But if you are in Puyallup, definitely stop in and see Raylene and Beth at the show. Oh, a kitty. We got a kitty on screen.
As soon as Ron starts to bring me back in, she jumps up on the table. She's right in front of the camera.
I want in on this.
She's the head of our household here, so yeah,
right.
She had to see what was going on. Well, Adele, you did great, because I know you are not feeling the best today. You're worn out, but yes, I am going to ask you a few questions. But before I do, I want to just real quick, because I did a terrible job today, and Beth even reminded me of this. But so I want to stop and say, guys, listen, we're going to do something special today for our anniversary. We always give a minimum of 5 door prizes, but if we get up to over 100 live views, so that means we need you to share. I am going to give an additional door prize, and it's a $50 gift certificate to my website. You can shop and buy whatever you want. So that's a pretty good deal, because most of our door prizes are usually $20, $25. Although, with our anniversary, Adele stepped up and gave us a great thing. But again,
if I need to throw in more, I can too.
Just see there, if we get enough viewers, Adele's going to go crazy. So, so again, we need you to share it. Let's get those numbers up, and that's going to make us more generous.
We've got 55 right now. Let's get it to 100.
Yeah, let's get it up. We'll start watching that ticker like a telethon. So Adele, yeah, I do want to ask you a few questions.
Okay.
Because that's kind of what today's show is all about. In just a few minutes, Beth's going to come on, and she and I are going to kind of let everybody get to know us a little better. And since you're one of our co-host fill-ins, just a real quick question, and that's, how did you get into this?
To Couture?
Yes.
So my sisters and I get together to quilt, and my most talented sister walked in and said, I have got something to show you, and I know how talented she is. And I said, I want no part of it, because I'm not nearly as talented as she is. And then when I saw how easy it was to do, I'm like, man, I could even compete with her. So it was a no-brainer for me. And then I was attracted to the business side of it too. So that's how I got involved.
And then, of course, most people don't realize that, so many people that are vendors now had past lives. Mm-hmm. Actually, you were a respiratory therapist, correct?
Yes, for 35 years.
And now, did you tell me that you worked with babies?
So I worked in level, like tiny babies, and I've done trauma, ER. I've basically done everything: East Coast, West Coast, Pacific Northwest, Southwest, Austin. I've worked all over the country. I like to travel. Obviously, if I didn't, I wouldn't be doing this work. So it was a great career, and I liked it because as a respiratory therapist, I got all around the hospital and I got to see everybody. As a nurse, you're kind of locked into one, you're an ER nurse, or you're a ICU nurse or whatever. But as respiratory therapists, we travel the whole hospital. So I loved it.
That's so cool. I'm so impressed by people who are in the medical field. And now, I don't think everybody knows where you live now.
I live in Arizona, just outside of Phoenix. Yes, west of Phoenix, almost on the California border. I'm close to Blythe.
Well, and it's like, I know you and I are going through the same thing right now. Everybody else has that tomfoolery this time of year where they change their clocks, and we don't. So where we used to be is the same as California. So we did Wild Wednesday at 2:00, our time as well. Now we're like going, okay, wait a minute, we're at 3:00 in Arizona now because California changed.
Yeah, it's like, okay, what time is it? Which time zone am I following now? Because we don't change. We just kind of, anyway, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Karen, I see that Karen just posted that she's a retired level 3 RN. So that's amazing. Thank you so much, Karen. That's cool. You guys have a lot in common there.
There you go.
So I started asking this next question, but you already said you do love to travel, which, obviously you got to like to travel to do what we all do.
Yes. Uh-huh.
We always laugh and people say, oh, you go everywhere. I'll bet you've seen just so much. And I always tell them, well, we see the hall and the hotel room and maybe a fast food place in between because we're
Right.
all so tired all the time.
Yeah, we don't
But
have time to be tourists, right?
yeah, we don't get to do that. That's what Ron and I talk about all the time. When we're not doing shows anymore, there's a few of these places we want to go back to and actually see what was there because you don't get to see much of it. Let's see if anybody has any questions for Adele before we let her go. Go ahead and type them in now. I know we normally do that at the end, but this is a special day. I should have got some balloons or something to put behind me, but that would have required me to plan something.
So in my younger years, I was an athlete, and I actually ended up playing college volleyball and college basketball.
Oh, wow.
And then about 3 or 4 years after that, I started blowing out knees, and so I just sports altogether. So
that usually finishes a lot of people off. So again, real quick, if anybody has any questions for Adele, type those in, and then we'll let her get on her. Well, she'll still be watching if we want to bring her back, but let her have a little rest.
I was going to bring my latest quilt on and show you, but maybe I'll hop on at the end.
Yeah, do that. Mary is asking, or not Mary, Leandra is asking, just to double check, the Facebook group is called The Chalk Room, right?
Yes, and this is no longer available. Someone's asking on the web on it. It's a retired one, but I have some stashed away. If you really want it, let me know.
And Diana, she's actually commenting about how you can reuse the stencils, which is really a cool thing because you just rinse them off and dry them out and use them for the next time, right?
And how easy it is. Yeah. So I've taught 4-year-olds and I've taught people with Parkinson's. Literally anybody can do this. It is not a highly skilled thing. The difference comes in the embellishing, and that's where you see the different styles really come out.
Right. And people's creativity.
Yep. And so just so everybody knows, I'm also a quilter. I have 4 sisters and 3 sister-in-laws and nieces that all get together and quilt. So we have a good time.
That's really cool. Well, we're going to go ahead then and let you go for now, but you go get that quilt and we'll bring you back on later. We'll just put you backstage until a little bit later on.
Okay. And I'll monitor some comments and make comments.
Awesome.
Okay.
Perfect. So yeah, if you guys think there's something you wish you to ask Adele, she's going to be looking. So just type them in. Okay, guys, we are now going to bring in one of my favorite people, my co-host, Beth, who I missed so much at Tucson. I totally realized, not that I ever really thought I could, but I can't do this by myself, okay? I tried really hard, and thankfully the first day Adele was feeling a little better, and she walked around with me. And of course, wonderful Anna from Big Matt always runs our camera when we don't have someone to do that for us. So they jumped in. But yeah, I can't walk, talk, and chew gum. So for me to walk around, talk to people, and try to monitor the comments, okay, it was a train wreck. Okay, so Beth, don't ever leave me again.
I'm going to tell you, it's harder than it looks because you have to be thinking 3 steps ahead of yourself. I know because when I do my Friday sales and when I do my Facebook lives, it's like I'm talking to myself for 2 hours. But maybe, I'm used to it now.
Well, before we move on to what today's show's all about, I guess I should I'm not going to give them the secret word yet, but I guess I should get them excited about the door prizes. What do you think?
Okay.
Okay. So like you heard, Adele is giving that Christmas countdown kit. It's got everything you need to make that cool countdown calendar. Another one of our big supporters of the show, of course, Teresa and Anna from the Big Mat Rotary Cutting Surface. They are actually donating an 18 by 24 mat, which is another terrific prize for our anniversary show. Somebody's going to win 2 Wild Wednesday coffee mugs, and they're nice, deep, good coffee mugs too, by the way, you guys. They hold a lot of coffee. And I'm going to give away a goodie bag of notions. And again, if we hit 100 viewers, I'm going to give a $50 gift certificate. And then Beth, what is it you're giving, Beth? I don't think I asked you.
I have a goodie bag full of patterns and
awesome
for Christmas.
So 5 great great door prizes. And if we hit 100, a sixth one. So we'll give you the secret word later in the show. Now, anybody that's new with us this week that's never been a viewer before, first of all, thank you for finding us. We're glad you're here. But the way our door prize drawing works is obviously you do have to watch live. And later in the show, I'm going to give you a secret word. You just type that into the comments one time. You only need to do it once. Then you're going to come back on this Facebook page later this evening, usually by about 5 o'clock. Although with the time change, it might be a little bit later now. And I will post who the winners were, and it will tell you how to claim your prize. And usually the vendors are able to get those in the mail to you in a day or two. So that's that part. So Beth and I thought it would be fun on our anniversary show to give you guys an opportunity to get to know us a little bit better. I mean, we know you know us on here. You see us at the shows. You know we have quilt businesses. But, we're actually not, I shouldn't say, we're not that boring, but we're not all that interesting. But then we thought, well, maybe we are interesting to some people. What do you think, Beth? Maybe we are. I don't know.
You know what? Everybody wants to know the backstory of everybody.
Yeah. So I'm going to start.
Type in your questions.
So I'm going to start by just asking Beth a bunch of questions to kick it off. And then she's going to do the same for me in a few minutes. But if you have, after we go through our questions, if you have a question for either of us, again, we're doing a little different. We're not waiting till the end for the Q&A. You just type them in, and between Beth and Ron and I will do our best to see them, hopefully get them answered for you. So, all right, Beth, are you ready for my 20 questions here? There's not really 20.
I'm ready.
Okay.
If I don't know the answer, I'll make it up.
Because if you're making it up, how are we going to know, right?
Right.
So the first question is, where are you originally from and where did you grow up?
Hayward, California. It's in the Bay Area. And I grew up in the same house my entire life, although it's kind of like the Winchester Mystery House. It morphed from 2,000 square feet when I was born to 6,500 square feet when I was in high school. And then I got married and moved across the street. And then I got divorced and moved back home.
Well, that was convenient.
Yeah.
Well, of course, now everybody knows that you are in
Gardnerville. Well, my shop's in Gardnerville, Nevada, but my house is in Minden, Nevada. So by South Lake Tahoe, Carson City, Reno area.
And how far is your shop from where you live? It's not very far, is it?
I don't know, like 8 miles. It takes me about 10 minutes.
Oh, that's not bad. See, when I lived in California, 8 miles was about an hour and a half. So
yeah, well, that's California for you. That's why we moved to Nevada.
Exactly. Well, now, again, I know the answer to a lot of these questions, but I'm sure our viewers would love to know about your family.
Oh, gosh.
Do you have one?
I do. I have, well, honestly, I think all of you girls are part of my family. But I have 2 kids. I have a 16-year-old daughter and an 18-year-old son and a husband.
Well, that pretty much rounds it all out.
Yes.
Now, this question is, because I know that you've actually been doing this for so long.
My whole life, it feels like. Yeah,
from a very young age. But tell everybody how you got into the quilting business, because it's actually a pretty interesting story.
So when I was 15, Eleanor Peace Bailey, who is an amazing doll maker, she kind of founded the doll making industry in the quilting world. I mean, there was several of them, but she was one of the gurus, and she was my mom's best friend. She actually introduced my parents, and she, even though she had 10 kids who were all about my age, I always thought they were too rich. They didn't have to work. So I went to work for her when I was 15. But now being a parent of teens, I see why you don't want your own kids to work for you. It's not that you don't want them to work for you. It's getting them to actually show up to work is sometimes a struggle. But so I went to work for her when I was 15. And then I worked for her for years. And then we became partners in her doll business. Oh, gosh, I don't know, maybe like 15 years ago. And then 15 years ago, we also opened up a quilt shop. So that's kind of how I started in the business. But I've been quilting and sewing my entire life. And
your kids and your husband are all involved with your business.
Yes. Everybody has to show up to work. Yes, very much so. More than they would like to.
Well, and your husband, Roger, I know he's your ace cameraman when you're doing all your lives and everything. And
yes.
And I know both of the kids are, well, I know your son has helped you at so many shows, and your daughter's in the shop all the time and helps you with all your lives and all your stuff. And
yes.
and
it's very much a family affair. Not so much before COVID. Before COVID, my husband did not step foot in the shop, but it's really hard to get reliable help these days, and we're busier than ever. So luckily, he has stepped up to the plate and come out of retirement, much to his chagrin, because this is pretty much a full-time job now.
And, you know, guys, she has a hero husband as well, because he retired from law enforcement. So in my eyes, he's a gigantic hero, and we're so grateful for his service. And that was in California as well, correct?
Right. He retired from the Oakland Police Department. Yep. He retired from that just to come to work here at Fabric Chicks.
Yeah, I'm not sure that he got the good end of that. Ron's sitting here shaking his head like, oh, no.
Right. I think he says that every day. What am I doing?
Yeah.
Yes.
But, you know, but you're right. It almost has to be a family affair, whether you wanted to or not sometimes. So,
right.
And then what else do you like to do? I mean, you must have something that you like to do that doesn't involve a needle and a thread.
Not really. No, I love to hike. And I love
that's what I was going with that.
Yes.
I know you hike a lot. Yeah.
And horseback riding. That's pretty much my two favorite things. Although I did try roller skating the other night for my girlfriend's birthday, and that was a blast. So I think I might have to do that once in a while.
You'd be the roller skating quilt shop owner.
Yes.
It's a whole new tag. We can run with this.
Yes. It's pretty exciting.
Well, and if you skate around the shop, you could probably get a lot more done.
Oh, or at the shows, because when I was setting up one of the shows, I had my phone counting steps, 21,000 steps in my little 50-foot booth. Just
to set up.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we might need skates at the shows.
Right.
Yeah. So how long, when you think about your future, how long do you think you will be a shop owner and travel into these shows? Do you ever think about that much?
Yeah. My kids will be graduated and out of the house in 2 years, because all kids turn 18 and move out and become, independent. So I'm looking forward to that. 2 years. It's I'll be 50 in 2 years. So kids will be gone. I'll be 50, and time to make some kind of big, huge, I don't know, midlife crisis lifestyle change.
Well, we always say Beth is she's the baby of the group, actually. And it's kind of funny when you think, all the youngins are 50 years old. So
is that kind of a scary thought?
It is to me, because I'm 150. So yeah. Tell us something about you that we don't know that might shock us.
Oh gosh, Christy, can you help me with that one? I know I was supposed to read these questions before.
Uh-huh.
Okay, Roger, can you think of anything? You have some cards. What is something we don't know about you that might shock us? I am one of 10 kids.
No, that's a shocker. That's a lot of kids.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What else? Here's another one. My parents used to put day-old bakery food in a trash can in the carport, and we could snack on that whenever we got hungry.
So sounds like you grew up kind of like we did, not exactly the richest family on the block.
Well, my parents were very frugal.
Yeah, that's a good word for it. Yeah,
yes.
As were mine.
Yes.
Yeah, so.
Yes. It was different times back then. That was a thing. Apparently.
So, looking at a couple of questions, I know earlier someone said, "Oh, Beth, share about the books that you're in," because we all know that you are in a couple of books that were written recently, and so tell us about that.
There's two different authors that have, I guess I have affected their lives. Penny Barger just wrote, what was the name of it?
Everyone Has a Story.
Everyone Has a Story. And you can order it on Amazon right now, but it is a limited release. So I ordered a couple of copies yesterday. And apparently I am the activities director at a rest home, and I sneak alcohol into the rest home people. So I don't know.
So it's a true story.
Well, it's a plausible true story. Yes. Yes.
Well, someone
and
just
then
typed in. Go ahead.
And then Jay Crowley out of Nevada, she's an author, and you can actually get her hardcover books. We sell them here at the shop, and you can get them on Amazon also. And the Wild Stitchers, I lead the Wild Stitchers group, and we solve crimes.
I can see that too.
Yes. Yeah.
It's funny. Karen typed in that in the Women's Handbook of Life, when you turn 50, you get a Corvette.
I already have one.
I know you do. It's like,
yeah, I've had one for, I don't know, 2 decades. So I'm going to need some bigger life-changing, altering thing. Maybe a tattoo or something. I don't know. Yeah. Botox. I don't know.
Yeah, something. Hey, it'll come to you.
Yes.
Well, that was cool. So we got to know a lot more about you then. Anything else you can think of you want to share with our viewers? Not that I can think of. Girls, do you have any other questions? I don't know. I'm pretty much an open book. You know, I have no filter. So it just kind of comes out. Everybody knows me. Michelle, I'd love to go hiking with you. Definitely, Michelle. I would love to go to Alaska to hike with you. Yeah, I'm thinking. Can I go? Yes. Yeah, we could do a live from there. Oh, wouldn't that be fun? Yes. Can we go in when it's not like below 80 degrees though? Because you know me, I can't stand it if it's below 80. Oh, it was freezing when I went last time. It was freezing. But yes, I don't know that it ever gets warm there, does it? Well, I don't know if it ever gets Arizona hot, but I think they do have some summer. Yeah. Okay, we'll have to try that. Okay, well, let's see. Oh, someone wants to know what number in the 10 siblings are you? My dad's oldest and my mom's third. So you're kind of in the middle. Yeah, you're about in the middle there. I'm trying to look over here to see. You know, my eyesight is terrible, so it's sometimes kind of hard for me to see. Michelle says, yes, it's cold right now. Yeah, then you won't be seen. No need to keep the light on for me. I will not be there. I think I don't see any other questions, but guys, if you think of something later, we're still going to be on for a while, so you can type them in. So I guess before we reverse the roles, do we want to give them the secret word now, or do we want to wait? It's your call. No, I would say make them wait, because then they get distracted trying to type it in. That's true. So we're going to wait a little longer. Focus, because I'm going to have a questions. It's like a test about your life history. Oh, there you go. Focused. All right. So you're okay. Are you ready? I'm ready. Yeah. I just want to say one more time, guys, keep sharing. If we get to 100, I'm going to give that extra prize. Adele just put in 71 watching. Okay. So we just need 29 more, guys. Just 29 more, and we're going to give that $50 gift certificate on top of our others. You know, you've got friends. Share with your friends. So I decided that they're not really sharing because that ups their chances of winning the prizes. No, that's not acceptable, girls, guys. Your friends are going to be really upset with you if they realize you've been watching for a whole year and not letting them know about it. Exactly. Oh, you know what, Terry? That's a good question. Beth, she wants to know how she can watch your Friday show. Oh my gosh. Okay, look it. I'm going to tell you right here. Oops, here if I can find it. Fabric Chicks. So follow us on Facebook, Fabric Chicks. And we're actually going to be doing a show this evening at 5:00 in our pajamas. And we're selling finished samples. So it's a whole sample spree at 5:00 today. Follow us. Because some of you aren't going to get your Christmas presents done in time. So we have a ton of shop samples for you to buy. And Norma, I see you on there. Norma, give the shop a call because Devin needs your shipping address. Okay. Okay, cool. All right. Jason wine, Peggy says. 5:00 Pacific Standard Time. So right now it's 2:30. So 5:00. 2.5 hours. You'll have time after this show to go do some things. Good thing I've got helpers. If we reach 100, how many viewers? 60. If we
if we reach 60 viewers at 5:00 this evening, we're giving away this Christmas kit from Moda by Deb
Oh, how
Stream.
cool. That's
I
awesome.
know, lots of giveaways today, guys. Lots of
I'll be
we have to
watching.
bribe you to watch us.
Well, I always tell everybody at the shows I'm the queen of bribery. So if that's what it takes, I'm willing.
Okay. I'm going to go bankrupt with my giveaways.
I know, me and you both, really. I totally get it, but it's fun to give stuff away.
Yes.
It's no wonder, though, that I don't have any money.
I know. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm going to just jump in with questions. So where are you from originally, and is that where you grew up?
Actually, physically, I was born in Southern Indiana, but I was only 2 years old when my parents moved to Southern California. And I grew up in Altaloma, California, which nowadays they call it Rancho Cucamonga. But I went all the way through school, Altaloma Elementary, junior high, high school, and did some college at Chaffey College for anybody that's over there in that area. And then I moved to Covina, and I was there for about 30 years before moving here to Arizona. It'll be 5 years ago, December 1st, that we moved to Arizona. So, and I lived 2 years. Actually, I lived 10 years. I forget about these things. When I was in high school, my dad's company transferred him to, of all places, Indiana, central Indiana. And so I lived in Indiana for 10 years. Before coming back to California, I did a couple of years in Florida and then back to California. So most of my life, Southern California.
Perfect. A California girl. Although you got to see a little bit of the rest of the country.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and I did, a lot of traveling with jobs I had too. So yeah, then I got to see a little more of it than just from what I saw in the van. So, yeah.
And where do you live now?
We are in Fort Mojave, Arizona, and that is the northwest corner. It's right where California, Arizona, and Nevada meet. So if anybody's familiar with like Highway 40, we're about 15 minutes from Needles, California. Or we're about 90 miles from Las Vegas. So we're just kind of where they all meet. We're real close to several different things, depending on which direction we head. But it's a very, very small town. We're right next door to Bullhead City and Laughlin. Laughlin is the little mini Las Vegas. So we're right on the Nevada border. We're at the Colorado River. Like we're on one side of the river and Nevada's on the other side of the river.
That's perfect. That's pretty convenient for all the shows that we do.
It really is. I mean, when we moved here, we kind of did a little, research like, okay, some of the shows that we go to are now a little bit further, some are a little bit closer. So it was a wash.
Yeah. Okay. And tell us about your family.
Well, I have, my husband, Ron, who is our technical guy that handles Wild Wednesday.
Thank God for Ron.
And he and I actually own the company together. And we have 3 kids, all grown-up adults. Brandon, who lives in California, our daughter Chrissy, who used to work with me at the shows for several years, but she's a manager for Starbucks, and she lives in Ohio, in the Toledo area. And then our youngest son, Curtis, also an adult, but he actually lives here with us because he works for us in the manufacturing side of our company. So,
okay. And what about your mom?
Oh, yeah, my mom. My mom, the one that started the company. So my mom was from Las Cruces, New Mexico. But of course, a lot of people know that middle of August 17th, she did pass away. She was 84. And unfortunately, she had dementia. So her last couple of years were kind of rough. But she is the one who actually started this company that Ron and I purchased from her when she didn't want to do it anymore. So.
And I think we should do like a roll call of how long people have been quilting, because like my mom, she's been quilting forever, but and you kind of learn little tidbits and different things, but they bring in like, there's a lot of history. So it's kind of,
with my mom, she had started quilting off and on, self-taught when she was about 12 years old. And did it off and on over the years, but she was actually a grocery checker was her job. And but she always enjoyed quilting, and she started getting frustrated. She could never find what she needed. And mostly she could never find the right fabric. Because back then, every quilt had to be calico prints, but you could never find them anywhere. And she just up and decided, well, I'll just open a shop and then I won't have to worry about where to get stuff. But she had been quilting for quite a while when she opened her first store, which was 1983. So we're actually in our 39th year. November 1st was our birthday. So we're in year 39. So.
Wow. That's a long time.
But I didn't have interest in quilting. Just to be clear, this was never my dream. This was never my passion. My mom taught me to sew when I was young, and I made clothes because my mom made all of our clothes when we were kids. But when you're the oldest kid, it just kind of happens sometimes that your parents need help and you end up getting into it. And I do enjoy it, but I always tell everybody, but this did not come about because I had a passion for it. It was just kind of came about out of necessity. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, I think my kids are going to be saying the same thing because it's not
what
they want to do.
I told you. Chrissy worked with me for a number of years, and she figured the only way out was to move to Ohio. So
right. Well, I'm pretty sure that's going to be Gracie. She's going to go as far away as possible. Okay, so we do have Evelyn says, "What was your dream? If you could have picked any career, what would it have been?"
Ron's already laughing, but I actually was an actor and a singer for a number of years. I did theater, I did TV, I did movies, always small stuff. But that was really my passion. I was a retail manager to pay the bills, but acting was really always my passion. I loved the live stage. I love musical theater. But when Ron and I met, and I kind of fell in love, I didn't want to be gone from home all the time. And to be an actor, you are gone a lot. And I just realized that wasn't so important. And then when I started doing the shows, I went, well, that's just an acting job anyway, getting up and doing the classes 2 times a day and all that stuff. So, I still enjoy being up in front of people and doing things. I just did a little bit different. And then, for over a year, Ron and I were the worship leaders at our church. He is a really good guitarist, and he played, I sang, and another friend of ours played with us. So I kind of got to feed that part of me that was missing. And also as a kid, I was a barrel racer. So
really?
I grew up on the back of a horse,
wow.
Which is funny because we didn't know that about each other with the horses till just now.
No, well, someday when you come up here, we'll have to go for a ride around Lake Tahoe.
I would love it. I would totally love it.
Yes.
My parents actually when I was younger, my parents kind of gave up everything that they wanted to do so that I could ride and do horse shows. And so, I did all the time Gymkhana events and all that stuff. Yep.
How fun.
I know now I'd probably fall off and break my neck, but if I tried to round barrels, but I can be very critical when I watch it on TV though, of all the things they're doing wrong.
Well, it's like roller skating or riding a bike. It comes right back to you.
Yep. And so I roller skated a lot in my youth as well, but I wouldn't do it now because I'd break my neck. But but interesting. My mom was actually a car hop back in the old days when they did that stuff.
Okay, I'm trying to read the comments. Oh my gosh, Michelle says we can go hiking and riding. Michelle, you might be my best friend.
I think so, Michelle.
Okay. All right. The comments keep coming in faster and faster. Okay.
They knew you better than they know me.
Yes. Okay. Let me see. So acting kind of it got you ready for this, hosting the Wild Wednesday Lives.
Yeah. It's funny because over the years, at the shows, whenever one of the local stations would want to come and do lives, in the morning from the shows, Chris and Eric would always come and ask me if I would do it because it was so comfortable for me. And that's why when people tell me, oh, I can't do that, I'm so camera shy, I don't understand. Are you kidding me? Give me a camera and a microphone and you will never shut me up. So It's like, I guess it's a different personality trait, I guess. So, so this is so easy for me. And I really, I love it because it's kind of bringing me back to something that I really do miss doing. Yeah.
Right. It makes me a nervous wreck. Just so you girls know, I am not confident or comfortable in this. I just do it because I know it's got to be done.
They would never know it because you look like you've been doing it your whole life.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay, let's go to the next question. Then I'll try to read questions while you're answering. Okay. So, you kind of explained how you got into the business already. And your family's involved. What else do you enjoy doing?
Well, I like going to casinos and gambling and penny slot machines.
Right.
I know. You know what, it's funny because we have so little downtime that you almost forget what you like to do. But I do like to go to the river. I like to people watch. Like Ron and I like to go to Vegas, go downtown and just sit on a bench and watch people because it's hysterical. Just spending time with him. I mean, it's like, I always laugh. We say it's like, we're lucky because we actually like each other, so because we spend a lot of time together on the road.
Yes.
And since we work at home as well, because when we moved to Arizona, we both quit our jobs, to be able to do this full time. So we're together 24/7 and then put us in the van for 2 days. But you know what? It's like, say, we like each other. We get along and, we like to, even when we're not on the road, we're still wanting to be together and do stuff. But we can go to Walmart and walk around and be entertained. We're pretty low maintenance when it comes to that kind of stuff. I say we like to people watch, but what we really hope is when we are done doing shows that we're talking about, we use a Sprinter van for the shows that we've taken really good care of because, it was a big investment, and we're going to probably convert it into a camper and go back and see some of the places that we've been to shows and see them. So we'd like to go camping and, we're pretty easy to please. Like I say, pretty low maintenance people.
Perfect. Oh, you know what? That's the best way to be. Like, if you can entertain yourself, you're good to go. You'll never be bored.
Yeah, okay. We watch a lot of TV too. We're TV addicts. We like silly sitcoms. We like just silly shows. And, of course we like a good drama now and then too. But, when you're probably like us, when you're so tired all the time, you can't concentrate on anything that you have to you can't think about. And me, I just fall asleep. So.
Me too. That's why I have to sew. Like I always have handwork or I fold fabric at night. Otherwise I'll fall asleep for sure.
Okay. We never go see a movie in the theater because the minute they turn out the lights, I think it's bedtime.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Okay. So, let's see. How long have you been married?
Well, actually, what is this? 12? I have to look at Ron because we just had an anniversary, and we've been together for 20, but we've been married for 12. See, that's the thing. I always focus on the 20, but yes, we just had our anniversary at the end of October, and that's 12 years married.
Okay, that's quite an accomplishment these days.
Well, yeah, and if you knew me better, you'd know that he's a saint. He's still here.
Yes, that's the truth.
He's
in my
making
case.
faces.
Yeah. Okay, and then Diana wants to know: do either of us have a degree in art? No.
Nope.
No, we don't. Mm-mm.
I did not I don't have a degree in anything because I, was in a situation and didn't get to finish college because I had to go to work and I couldn't do both. So I don't even have a college degree, unfortunately. But
yeah, and I went back and I got my AA degree when I was 39, when my kids were little, and I had the shop, and I just decided it was something I needed to do. I'm not really sure why, because it will never benefit me in my life. And
I thought about it many times that I should probably go back and finish. And then, it's just with working and like I say, we had our career jobs and then we also had the business. So it was kind of hard to add anything else. So it just never happened.
Yeah. Yeah. Life gets in the way sometimes. Christy says you are just like her mom.
Oh, I guess I don't know what that means. I hope that's a good thing.
Okay. What is that? Oh, Liz says we have a life degree. That is true.
Oh, I definitely have a life degree. I mean, it's like over the years, I've done every kind of job under the sun. So it's like you guys would probably laugh at some of the jobs I've had over the years. So.
Right. Well, and sometimes I think not having a degree, you have more common sense. Not more common. I don't want to offend anybody, but the school of hard knocks. You've had to learn how to survive and how to become who you are Not so
Ron's
much.
Ron's about to delete you over here because he's like, what? I'm delete.
Sorry, I have no filter. It just kind of comes out. But it is the school of
No,
hard
he
knocks.
doesn't. But it's a different type of a degree, so to speak.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think having a degree sometimes, not always, but sometimes it just opens up more doors for you.
Right. Exactly.
Well,
it's a whole different thing. Yeah. And, I'm so impressed with Ron and his degree because, he went to a fantastic school, USC, Trojans fight on. But, I'm impressed with that. But, not.
And look where it got me.
He said, look where it got me.
Yeah, look where it got you, Ron. Yep. I know. Okay, let's see. Trying to go to a 4DX theater and you'll stay awake. The seats have motion, water comes out, wind blows. It's like you're in the movie. Ooh,
that's cool.
I've never been to the 4D where the stuff sprays out except for like a Disneyland ride. But
yeah,
sometimes when I go to the luxury movie theaters, have you been to a luxury, like where the seat reclines?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I can't do that. I'll fall asleep.
I'm for sure going to be asleep. That seat that reclines, for sure. I'm gone.
Yeah. Remember, we live in the sticks, so we don't have none of those fancy, highfalutin city theaters. We're lucky we have theaters with seats.
Right. For sure. Ruth, I'm not so sure. Ruth says it's got to be better than a letter carrier for over 40 years, lugging heavy mail and walking on the streets.
That's a tough job too, Ruth.
That is really a tough job. But I'm going to say that sometimes people think our job is glamorous, but I lug in about 2,500 pounds of fabric to a show and set it up. I'm going to say sweat, it is like not my friend. It's not. It seems like a glamorous job because we make it look easy, but it's hard work.
Very hard work, which, a lot of people know that we are in the process of trying to sell one division of our business. And probably one of the biggest reasons was that particular product accounts for about 1,000 pounds, just that one product of our weight load. So yeah, it's tough, but yeah. Carrying a mail bag every day, though, at least I don't have to do it every single day, Ruth. That's a tough job.
Yes. No, I love my mail lady. She is the best. I give her chocolate every day. I fill her pockets with chocolate.
Yeah, see, we're so out in the country. We don't have mail people. We have to drive down to the mailbox and pick it up. So we have the cluster box. So.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Which is a lot different than LA County, California.
For sure. Yeah. Well, did you have to do a lot of adjustments when you moved to Arizona?
You have to get used to, because again, we were in Los Angeles County, so we had, everything around us. The biggest thing for us, because we have all the stores we need, if we need anything more than that, we're going to be on the road. We're going to, run into one of those stores. The biggest thing for us is the lack of restaurants, because simple things like in California, we had 3 El Pollo Locos within 5 minutes of our house. We don't have that here. So when we're on the road to a show, the first thing we're looking for is El Pollo Loco, Chick-fil-A, Whataburger, depending on where we are. We do have an In-N-Out. So all you California people, don't worry. We're not going to starve to death because we do have In-N-Out. But, it's just not even like the sit-down restaurants. Although, again, we're close to Laughlin. We're 20 minutes from Laughlin, and a lot of the casinos have pretty nice restaurants, but that's kind of the biggie. It's hysterical. Our whole trip to the shows, it's all about how many places can we eat that we don't have so that we get a fix of it. We've got our whole meal, every meal planned out before we even get there.
Oh my gosh, which is so crazy. So we typically stay in bed at Airbnbs when we're at shows. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to see a fast food restaurant. So Vicky from Workman's, she crock pots most of our meals. So we have home cooked meals every night.
Yeah. And see, at home, I cook all the time. So that's so we're just kind of opposite. You're eating fast food at home and good food on the road. And we're the opposite. We're eating good food at home, fast food on the road. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So how long do you see yourself doing this work?
Well, I can actually answer that pretty easy.
Okay.
we have about 3.5 more years of doing shows before we are old enough to draw our full Social Security. Once we can do that, we will be off the road so that we can go, get our camper conversion done and go enjoy life. But, we manufacture acrylic quilting tools for other stores and other designers. So we will continue to do that for another few years. But the nice thing about it is once we're off the road, we can quit when we want. So it's just when we're totally sick of it, that's when we'll quit.
Right. Well, and I kind of think we're busybody people. I don't know that we could ever totally quit because
I don't think so either.
Yeah. I think I talk a big game. In 2 years, I'm quitting and I'm going to go sit on a beach somewhere, but I would get bored in a half a minute.
Well, that's me too. And I think maybe I could go sit on a beach for 6 or 7 months or so just to kind of regroup.
Yeah.
But my dream is all the stuff that I buy from all of you guys on Wild Wednesday, I'd like to make some of it sometime. I have this whole table piled with all of our mall vendors' stuff that I bought on their sales.
Right.
And I just got a big old envelope full of stuff from you a few days ago. I would like to someday do something with that, but
yes. I know, to have time to actually sew on what we want to sew on.
Well, and I always tell people the only sewing I ever get done is repairing a sleeve on a quilt I hang at a show or a tablecloth that goes on a table. And the only thing I have sewn in ages is that little sample that I made for Adele using her Couture products so that we could show the crossover of the two products. That was the first thing I had sewn in ages. And I felt like I had no clue what I was doing of my own product because even though I sell it, I teach it, I don't get to do it that often.
Right. No, I get it. I don't get to sew on what I actually want to sew on. I have to sew shop samples.
Right, exactly.
I gotta do what's gonna make money. Okay. Oh my God. Christy says we're up to 81 people. Okay, girls.
We're getting there.
Share. Okay, so what is something we don't know about you that might shock us?
Well, I'm such a boring person, but years ago, the only thing, I told you I was a barrel racer, which most people don't believe, that's usually kind of surprising to people. And I was an actor and a singer. And, I was in the National Guard.
Really?
But I got kicked out.
What'd you get kicked out for?
I got an honorable discharge. No, it's funny. After high school, I was living in Indiana. I finished high school in Indiana when we were transferred back there. And a lot of the friends that I went to school with, a lot of the guys out of high school, they joined the National Guard to be able to get their college education. And so my best friend and I went, well, this would be a good way to get school paid for. So we did join the Guard. But at the time, we didn't meet the requirements. And so they said, well, they were doing a big recruiting thing, we'll take you anyway. And then after we both got in, they're like, yeah, you don't meet the physical requirements. And so they kicked us out after several months. But it was honorable. I got an honorable. But it's still funny that I joined the Guard.
Physical requirements, like you couldn't do push-ups or you couldn't run the 1.5 miles or you weren't tall enough.
My friend wasn't, she didn't weigh enough. She was a little bitty thing. And I weighed a little bit too much. I mean, at the time, I was in a lot better shape back then. But it was just, they didn't have a problem getting people in the military back then. So they were very, very strict about whatever the requirements were. And we just didn't meet them. But, again, it was probably for the best because the first couple of, in the Guards, you go like once a month you go, and it about killed us the few months that we had to do it. And we realized maybe this wasn't such a good idea. Maybe there's another way to pay for school.
Yes. Yeah. I know I couldn't do it.
Yeah. I know now that I couldn't either. Mm-hmm. But that was also a very, very long time ago. Because, like I said, I'm 150 years old. So it was a long time ago.
Well, and I do think that we had a lot stricter requirements back then than there is now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and it was really odd, for girls to go in, it was really, really odd back then for girls to join. And when they would give us jobs to do, when we went to our monthly drill, it was always like really dumb stuff. We didn't get to do any of the fun stuff the guys got to do.
Right.
Like we would stand there with a rag wiping down telephone wire while the guys are all out doing fun stuff. So, yeah. We were cleaning. In other words, the girls were doing the cleaning.
Yeah. Those were the days. They couldn't get away with that these days.
Yep. No way.
No. Okay. And Peggy says she'll be at 508 when she gets all of her projects finished that she's bought from all of us vendors.
Well, then you'll have.
Peggy. I believe it.
I do too, because I see her shopping on here. So I know for a fact that's exactly right.
It's true. It's true. She shops with me every week.
Yes, she does.
There is only one T in quilting. Oh, you can't quit.
Oh, clever. It took me a minute.
Yes.
That went right over my head.
Me too. Okay. All right, girls. Can you think of any other questions? I'm kind of trying to scroll back to see if I missed any questions for you.
Cindy, I see you. What do you mean you just got here? You missed all the fun. So be sure later on tonight you go back and watch.
Cindy Gygax, you should have set your alarm. You know better. You know better. I know my regulars, sometimes I do call you girls out. Mel says she does not want to think of how many UFOs she has.
Yeah, maybe just don't think about it, Mel. Maybe
we should do a challenge and have everybody write down their UFOs and put them into a box and then pick out one UFO a month and finish it.
Yes, and then show them on the show. Maybe we need to have a UFO show. We'll have to think about it. You know, guys, we're thinking of all kinds of fun things for next year once we get through all the holidays. But maybe we do a UFO show.
That would be a fun one.
That
would be a fun one.
I might even get something finished for that.
Right. Okay. And girls, if you have any ideas of things that you want us to add or want us to do, type it in or email one of us or whatnot. Cindy says no, she has too many UFOs. You know what? At some point, if you're familiar with Eleanor Peace Bailey, when I was 15, she was a keynote speaker somewhere, and they said they called and they wanted me to give them words of wisdom from Eleanor. And so I asked Eleanor, I said, what do you want me to tell this lady? And she says, if you've got projects and fabric and, ideas that you're gonna get to stuffed under the bed and in boxes, you're suffering from creative constipation.
Oh, that's good.
At 15, I was like, I am not calling the lady back and telling her that they're suffering from creative constipation. No. But
it's true.
Then I thought about it. It's so true because you've got like your conscience is saying, don't buy anything else. You've got that project from 1903 that you haven't made. But you don't even like those fabrics anymore. You don't even like those colors anymore. You don't even it's weighing you down. It's weighing your creative thinking down. Get rid of it. Purge. Donate it. Let it be somebody else's. Oh, look, Liz says UFO exchange.
Well, that'd be fun too.
We might have to do. Yeah. Okay, Cindy, you get a pass because you had a doctor's appointment. Okay, but next time schedule your doctor's appointment not during Wild Wednesday.
Yes.
Diane says she just completed 4 UFOs this week. She cleaned her sewing room and found them. Oh,
good job, Diane.
We're actually.
But don't tell everybody that. You won't have any friends. People don't like people that finish stuff.
Right. Or clean up their sewing room.
Or clean their sewing. Yeah.
Yes. Adele says she only takes UFOs to her retreats.
Oh, good job. Yeah, that's right.
Good. Yeah. Because, a lot of times when you're doing retreats, you don't want something you have to really think about and plan.
Right. Because you're there to have fun. Yeah. So, Beth, did you want to do the secret word or do you want me to do one?
You can do it.
Okay. Well, we got one ready, as a matter of fact, but just in case you had one better. But okay, guys. Here's it again. If you're new with this, because we have I see a lot of unfamiliar people on the list. When I give you the word, you're going to type it in the comments. Please only do that one time so they don't have to sort them all out. And then in a couple of hours, come back to the Wild Wednesday Live Facebook page. Look for the big colorful thing that says winner. And you'll see who won, and you will also see how to redeem your prize if you are a winner. And again, if you're new with us, we do prizes every single week. We do a minimum of 5 door prizes that are donated by our wonderful, wonderful, generous vendors. So today's secret word, and then I'll go over the prizes with you again. Today's secret word is birthday.
Birthday.
Because it's our birthday.
Type it in.
So just as a reminder, because I want to give a shout out to these vendors, of course, we're Wild Wednesday is going to give 2 of our Wild Wednesday coffee mugs. Adele has donated that wonderful Christmas countdown kit. Teresa and Anna from the Big Mat Rotary Cutting Surface have donated an 18 by 24 cutting mat. Quilters Haven, me and Just Notions, we're going to give a goodie bag, and Beth also has a goodie bag of stuff. So if you haven't yet, type in birthday, and again, give me about an hour and a half or so after the show, and I should have them posted. So with the time change now, it's like, oh yeah, I got to get on that quicker.
Okay, so we do have a lot of new people. So should we kind of retell them what this is all about? Because this segment is very different than our normal.
Yeah, that's for sure. It's not usually all about Beth and I, but yeah, Beth, go ahead and kind of tell them about Wild Wednesday.
Okay, so
it was your idea. So.
Why, thank you. That's what happens. Don't ever volunteer for anything, girls, because then you got to do all the work. No, I'm just kidding. Raylene does all the work. I just show up. Cindy says she loved the goodies she won from you, Raylene.
Good.
So anyways, Wild Wednesday is all about, it kind of was formed because of COVID and we were all stuck in our homes and whatnot. And it, for us as vendors, I have a store, so I had other outlets, but a lot of the vendors only have shows as an outlet to their consumers. So we started this Wild Wednesday where we interview 3 or 4 other vendors or shop owners from across the world. We've had Australia. I think she's the only one not in the U.S.
Yeah, I think so far, but all across the U.S.
Yes. A lot of people from the East Coast, even vendors you wouldn't necessarily see at our regular shows have been on the Wild Wednesday because it's kind of... the routing's kind of changed. It used to be that you could do several shows on the West Coast at a time. So the vendors would come from the East Coast, but now the shows are spread out more. So we're not seeing as many coming from the East Coast as once was happening. But, you know, who knows? The world is changing so fast. It could happen again. But we're still able to see them on the Wild Wednesday. So we interview 3 or 4 other vendors and they show us their latest and greatest product, or they do a demo on how to use their tools that they specialize in. So that's kind of what it's all about. You have anything to add, Raylene? You're always so elegant, and I kind of just chop it all up.
No. You know, and like we said, we always give door prizes. But another fun thing is the vendors always offer a special. And those specials are only good to our viewers for 48 hours after the show. So there's extra special deals. You know, sometimes they're a little discount. Sometimes it's huge. It just kind of depends on what they're focusing on and what they're doing. And then those vendors that appear on the show normally are the ones who donate a majority of our door prizes. So they're all very generous to join us. And again, this is all sponsored by the Quilt Craftsville Mall. So if you're new with us, be sure that you check out, it's scrolling on the screen. And what that is it is kind of like going to the mall, but doing it on your computer, where you're going to, I believe right now we have 52 different vendors on the mall that you can click on, find everybody in one place. And we do weekly specials. Like I said, we're going to have our new In the Spotlight that's going to start soon. And we always, post about shows that are coming up, our live shows. And so, and we've even got food vendors in our mall, guys. You got to have a food court at the mall. We have 2 terrific vendors that have sweets. And it's not all just quilting, as you saw with Adele with her crafting. There's crafts, there's quilting. So there's something for everybody on that mall.
Perfect. And Mel says she can't wait to see us in Puyallup. I want you, Mel, write this on your hand because it's surprising how difficult it is to remember what to say when you see us at the shows. So what are they supposed to tell us?
I get wild with you on Wednesday. And I'm going to tell you, it's not that hard. But Beth is a stickler. When you go see Ron, because Ron will be a little lenient. I've actually seen Ron coaching people So they would be prepared to go to your booth because he'll tell them, if you don't do it right, Beth isn't going to give you your prize. And he's actually had a lady write it on her hand so that she would say it right when she got to. Now, we got her a little slack because she was brand new and she'd only watched the show one time. But yeah, Ron's a little more lenient than Beth is. So
I think people are like standing in the back of the line in your booth and they hear something going on, but they're not really sure what. And they just pick up a few key words and then they come over to my booth and they're like, so on Wednesdays, yeah, I watch you on Wednesdays.
Yeah. Nope.
Okay.
You know, that's an imposter right away. Cause our viewers, they might forget a little bit for a second, but they know what to say.
Right. But,
well,
I was
going to mention
wrong. She had it on a Post-it note and she still got it wrong. She's like, you told me to write it on a Post-it. So I wrote it on a Post-it yesterday. And it was wrong. I'm like, okay, I'm going to let that one slide. Cause at least you get effort. Okay. Effort.
Ron just read your comment and he's totally cracking up and he's like, yep, I remember. So
yes,
she messed up and he called her out, which you caught him at a bad moment because usually he's Mr. Nice Guy. So
right.
Go ahead.
Jody says Ron was coaching him to tell Devin, I get wild with you on Wednesday.
Yes, he was. He'd say, now go and tell her son because he loves when you say it. So
Devin, come here so they can see you if they haven't seen you. Come here real quick. Just so you look at this is who you guys really have to say it to because he loves it when you ladies come and say
you're awful.
And they usually say it like in a sexy old lady voice.
Hi, Devin.
So sweet.
I get wild with you on Wednesdays, huh, Devin? You love it when they say that? Yep.
Yep.
Every 18-year-old guy's dream.
It's for an old lady to say that to him. I should, not that all of our viewers are old ladies, but yeah.
Right.
I'm counting myself in that group as well.
We're all old. To Devin, we're all old.
Well, exactly.
Yes.
It's like I remember when Chrissy would go to the shows with me and she's like, everybody's so old. It's like, I just slapped her and told her to shut up. Stop it,
Right. We did have kind of like a creepy incident only once and the lady was like, Devin, well, she didn't say his name. She's like, I just want you to know I don't want you to be creeped out by this. And I think anytime you have to say it like that.
Yeah.
It's creepy. And she's like,
instantly. Yeah.
She's like, oh, you're just really, really good looking.
Oh.
And I'm standing there and I'm like, you might need to go. You might have to go. You might have to leave our booth. Like
Mama Bear kicked in on that.
Yeah, like the whole way she said it, I was like, oh, something's wrong here.
Something's very wrong.
You just never know what's going to happen at a quilt show.
No, but since we're talking, I think it was Mel that said she's coming.
Yes.
Yeah, Mel, don't forget that I have a free class every day. Here I am now promoting myself. 11 o'clock, classroom number 2. I do the free class on less than traditional that, I've done it on the show, but it's been a while. Maybe I'll do it again after the first of the year. We'll see. But anyway, if you come to my free class, I show you not only how to do the circle quilts, but also I share some notions with you and you get a free gift. So you get your Wild Wednesday gifts and you'll get another gift in my class. So, not that I'm trying to bribe you, but I am.
Lollipops?
I have been known to do that. Yes.
She gives you lollipops so you're busy and you can't talk and interrupt her.
That's right. Because I may be nicer in the booth about the Wild Wednesday, but when you come to my class, it's a whole new ball game. We got stuff to do and very little time to do it.
Well, Ann, I'm going to tell you. So I've never been to any of those classes because I'm busy in my booth.
You're working. Yeah.
Yeah. But I had the booth that butted up to where you meet, and those ladies were laughing so hard. Like I in my head, I was like, I hope some of them have their Depends because all you heard was uncontrollable laughter.
I must have been in rare form that day, huh?
I don't know. I think it's very entertaining. Everybody that I've ever heard that goes to your lectures, I think it's very informative and funny.
And yes,
it's worth
we're asking. No, I don't do the flower class because once you take the basic class, the flower is just a really super, super simple change to the basic technique. So, but I do show a little more detail about the flower in my second class that I didn't mention because it's a moving on. So if you've already seen my basic class or you know how the basic technique is done, then you can wait and come to the 1 o'clock class. And in that class, I do show step-by-step how we do the flowers. So hopefully that answered your question on that. And thank you, Carol. I saw that you love less than traditional. It's awesome. It's just, I wish I could say that I thought of it, but no, my mom actually came up with that technique in 1979.
Perfect. Okay. Sorry, Devin sidetracked me. He's got a customer with a question. We're so close to 100.
I know. And, and we're way over time too. It's like probably some of these people,
yes.
We probably had some that had to get back to work or whatever. So you know what I'm going to do, Beth, because it is our anniversary.
No,
even though
don't do it.
Technically,
don't.
Oh, I have to.
Save it for next week. Save it for next week. Come to share all week.
We're not going to be, we're going to be at the show next week though.
Well, maybe if we get 100 viewers at the show, that would be a good one.
Yeah, we could think about something.
You're much nicer than me. I'd be like, nope, sorry.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I won't do the big $50 gift card because we didn't hit 100. But how about I will pick 2 people to win the 2 Wild Wednesday mugs. So we'll have 6 prizes.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
But we're going to talk. Let's talk about, we will do $50 gift certificates if we reach it. Do we want to do it at the show or do we want to wait till the next Wednesday?
We better wait
so they have time to share.
I don't know that I would have time to do the contest stuff when we're at a show because, we get back to the room. You got to do all your accounting and all that stuff every night. So let's wait and do it at our next, our next in studio. Remember, we will not have a show on the day before Thanksgiving just because everybody's busy and cooking and doing all that kind of stuff. So the next time you will see us on our studio show is December 1st.
That seems like forever away.
I know it does. But listen, guys, even though you're going to be watching next week, that gives you a whole bunch of time to start spreading the word and telling your friends about Wild Wednesday. Because if you're not telling them, well, now you're just not being a very good friend. Come on, look how entertaining we are.
Don't be holding out on your friends, okay?
Don't be holding out, yeah. But yeah, so we'll do an extra door prize today. We'll do 2 sets of the mugs. So that'll give us 6 door prizes because we did get up over 80 several times. And of course, I don't know if you guys, we watch this closer, obviously, and you would. But in the summertime, we were up to 200 people a week. So that's what we're just trying to kind of get back to where we were before everybody went back to work. But, we get that too. People work.
Right. Bummer, but share with your friends.
Yes.
Share. No, Ronji, we were up over 200 before.
Every week.
Yeah, but I think with people going back to work and the summers, you want to be out gardening.
And we know everybody's still watching because when the live numbers went down, our YouTube views went up. So everybody's still watching. They just, if they went back to work, they can't always sneak away and for an hour and watch the show.
Unless they have a state job.
No, that's true.
Okay, so wait. Tammy, you might not be my favorite. She says Christmas is only 40 days away.
Tammy, now that's just not going to fly. You can't be telling us the truth like that. Beth and I cannot handle that kind of truth, especially when we're getting ready to hit the road.
Oh, that's a scary thought.
Oh, I don't even want to think about it. Now I'm depressed. I had so much fun, and now I just want to cry.
I know.
And 10 days of that will be gone. So.
Right. So for those that are new, Raylene, what do we do next week when we're at a live show?
Yes, just a reminder, you guys, on Wednesday at 3:00. Remember, it's 3:00, whatever the local time is where we are, because we can't do it until we get, to a certain point of done. But on Wednesday, we're going to give you a behind the scenes look of setup day. You'll see the vendors that are there. So for those of you that are going to be able to come to the show live, you'll get a sneak peek of who all you're going to see there. And then Thursday and Friday, also 3:00 local time, which in this case is Pacific time. We will interview. I have 4 vendors lined up each day. And guys, for those of you that are regulars, we are going to be interviewing, with the exception of 2 vendors, all brand new people you guys haven't seen on the show before. Because up in Washington, there's a lot of vendors up in that area that we haven't seen since the pandemic. So lots of new things to see. So we'll be interviewing some new vendors and just, again, letting you see the show if you're too far to get to the show. So again, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 3:00 Pacific time, right here on Facebook Live.
Perfect. Okay. I think that Nicole says new vendors. Yay. Yay.
I see that. Yeah. Well, I guess we should probably sign off though, because we've been on here for like an hour and 20 minutes.
I know. Devin's like, Mom, are you coming back to work?
Well, we do have to go back to Adele real quick because I want to see if she found that quilt she was going to show him. So I see her standing by. So Ron's going to bring her back in. Hey, Adele.
Hey
there.
there
It is. We're going to give you the whole screen so they can see it. Hang on just a second.
Beautiful.
That is
love
awesome.
it. I love scrappy quilts.
She is a quilter. She was telling us the truth. That's beautiful. Is that my Christmas present?
Yeah. So this quilt, it took 24 blocks and 25 and I stopped at 24 and I'm like, wait a minute, I need one more block. It took me like 5 years to do that one more block.
Because you were over it, huh?
I was mad because I had to do one more.
I think we can all relate.
Because you mentally move on. You had mentally moved on, and thank you for sharing that with us, and thank you for your generous donation to the door prizes. And guys, don't forget, if you have questions for Adele, she is really good to go back after the show and check through all the comments. So if you want to know about the club, if you want to know about how you can buy that $99 kit and get all those specials, and again, guys, poor Adele, she was sick for 2.5 months, and she's still not all the way back yet, but missing all those shows was really a hardship for any vendor. So any support you can give her, I know she appreciates it.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
All right, guys, we will see you next week in Puyallup. So go out and have a creative week.
Definitely. Get some of those UFOs done.
Yes. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye, everybody.
Right.